Welcome YouTube back to my channel, and what did we witness last night? We witnessed a team thrash another 5-0. Yes, Arsenal beat Chelsea 5-0, and what a game it was. A game of two. It just showed you exactly where both clubs are at right now. And I want to start by talking about Arsenal, because Arsenal were absolutely phenomenal on the day. They were incredible, and Chelsea just could not cope with them. And I'm talking about their passages of play, their desire, their heart, their ability, their cohesion was on point, whereas Chelsea was a complete opposite. And I want to start by talking about my player this season, and that was Martin Odegaard. Martin Odegaard was absolutely breathtaking last night. But not just last night, he's done that all season. 8 goals, 8 assists in the Premier League so far this season. But stats aside, his ability, his vision, his creativity, his determination, his instincts, his decision making, and his relationship with the ball is absolutely beautiful. He's a beautiful footballer to watch. And Arsenal have signed an absolute gem. An absolute gem in Martin Odegaard, because I watched a lot of Martin Odegaard when he was younger. Even before he transferred to Real Madrid, I knew about him. I heard about him. I'd scouted him. And when he transferred to Madrid, I said to everybody, he's the right player, but at the wrong time. He was far too young for that, because he had no senior experience, little senior experience. He wasn't mature, he wasn't physically developed. He was technically good enough, but all the other aspects were missing at that point, and that's why it didn't work out in Real Madrid. And I've seen a lot of fans say when Arsenal signed him, he's washed, he didn't work out in Real Madrid, he's not good enough, he's not going to cut it in the Premier League. What are you smoking? He's proven my point once again. I always say that if a player doesn't work out at a certain club, it does not make him a bad player. It just means it just wasn't the right environment for him. And now he's found that environment. He's matured. He's got that sense of belief. He's absolutely taken Arsenal to a new level. He's the biggest compliment you can give to a footballer, and this stands with Martin Odegaard, is that he makes players around him better. And that's exactly what he's doing, not only physically and technically, but mentally as well. We've seen the shift in Arsenal from last season. Arsenal last season did fumble, they did crumble, and that's because they didn't have that experience. They didn't have that mentality and belief that they would go on and win the Premier League, but we've seen that change this season. And I would not be surprised if Arsenal did go on and win the Premier League, because if they perform like they did last night against Chelsea, away to Tottenham and away to Man United, there's absolutely no reason why they can't get 6 points from those games. And I'm calling that now. But another player I want to talk about is Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz, once of Chelsea, was deemed not good enough, deemed that he was weak, he technically wasn't good enough, he was sluggish, he had no attitude, he had no personality. But he showed personality last night. He popped up with 2 goals and celebrated by cupping his ears. And that's because he was scapegoated at Chelsea. Even though he scored the winner in the Champions League, they're still wanting him out of the club. And they said that they robbed Arsenal because they signed him for 60 million. I say that Kai Havertz has actually improved Arsenal. You've got it. Let's rewind it back, right? Kai Havertz was fantastic at Bayer Leverkusen. I mean, unbelievable. He was a blue-eyed boy of Germany. But when he came to the Premier League, although he was learning a new culture, learning a new environment, learning with new players, he was also learning a new role in the hardest league in the world. That takes time. He was learning to be a centre forward on the job, and that takes time. And we're seeing the benefits of that experience at Chelsea come to fruition at Arsenal. And he's got 11 league goals and 5 assists this season. That is absolutely phenomenal for a player with a lot of pressure and was getting told that he wasn't good enough in the Premier League. Because when you get told something so many times, you begin to believe it. But he's chose to ignore it, and credit to him. So he deserves a lot of respect. But for me, my player this season so far is Martin Odegaard. Now let's talk about Chelsea. I could be here for days talking about Chelsea. But I want to talk about Pochettino. Because we said it when he come in, he was not good enough for Chelsea. He's a good man manager, but tactically, he's only got one way of playing. And if that way of playing doesn't work out, he's relying on players bailing him out. Now, I watch a lot of French football, and I watched a lot of Poch at PSG. And even at PSG was not dominating games. His teams were quite weak. But the difference is he had Kylian Mbappe, which bailed him out continuously. Continuously bailed him out of games and got him wins by being creative and providing assists or scoring himself. And Pochettino lived off that. Now, I'm not one to sit here and say manager should be sacked, because I was one to say Arteta needed time. But the reason why I said Arteta needed time is because you could see his vision. You could see what he was trying to mould the squad together and play his style of football. You could see what he was trying to do. And that's why I said give him time. But with Pochettino, I struggle to see what he's trying to do. And if I could see what he could see, then maybe I would say yes, stick with him. But I just can't see what he's seeing. I can't see what he's trying to do. It's kind of like he's just clumping the players together, picking 11 players and just saying, go out and play. Go out and be better than the opposition. There's no structure. There's no identity. There's no passages of play. There's no charisma. Which is a complete opposite of Arsenal. Now Arsenal, Chelsea fans used to banter Arsenal. And now the tables have turned. And it's crazy to see how far Chelsea have fallen. And that's probably because, well, it's since Todd Bowley come in. Even Graham Potter said, this isn't right. When he was manager of Chelsea, he sat in a press conference and said, this is not right. No wonder the guy failed. No wonder Frank Lampard failed. No wonder Pochettino's failing, because a club isn't right. It's not run right. What is Todd Bowley's biggest mistake, in my opinion? Yes, you can say giving young players 8-year contracts. Yes, you can say Pochettino, but for me, the biggest mistake is changing the whole club from top to bottom. And I mean every single person in the club. They changed medical staff, coaching staff, even behind the scenes. They changed the receptionist, they changed the dinner ladies, they changed everybody, they changed the cooks. What you need is a new player going into a new club. You need to walk into an already built structure. What do you need when you're buying a company? If you're buying a company and not starting it off from scratch, you need that furniture there. You need that know-how. People that have been there for years and years and years and just know how to get things done. Every single person at Chelsea is still learning their new role. So nobody feels comfortable yet in their new role. And that's the difference in a successful club to a new club. Now, I would say change 1 or 2, maybe 3 or 4 people. But when you change everybody, it's going to be messy at the start. And that's exactly what we're seeing. But for me, there's 3 candidates Chelsea should look for. Hansi Flick, because he's very good at getting players on his side. He's very good at motivating players. Very good at getting the best out of players. Julian Nagelsmann, he's a tactician. He is tactically beautiful. He's innovative. He learns he finds the weakness in the opposition and exposes it very well. Or Carlo Ancelotti. Because Carlo Ancelotti is very good at building a structure, putting a structure in place and just letting it blossom. Like we're seeing at Milan, like we're seeing at Real Madrid. Like we're kind of seeing at Everton as well. Although his resources were absolutely shocking. He's been Everton's best manager since David Moyes. And that's tough to do. So That's my opinion. I want to hear your opinion. So drop us a comment in the below. What do you make of Chelsea and Arsenal? And what do you think Chelsea should do in the future? And finally, do you think Arsenal can win the Premier League? Drop us a comment in the below. I appreciate you all watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and I'll see you next time.